Alright, so today we're going to go over the Minute Man load. Minute Man load is a very versatile load. We're going to go over deployment and also how to load it into the hose bed. So as you can see on this side, you have a nozzle here and no nozzle there. These are directional pulls. They can be pulled off from one side or the other side. So keep that in mind, we'll go over that later in the video. So your basic setup is you have your Minute Man side, which is going to be your nozzle side, and then your hose bed side, which is going to be your supply side. And what the basic gist of it is, this side will go on your shoulder so you can deploy it, and this side is going to be the hose bed side. As you can see, we have one handhold loop here. That's what you're going to be grabbing a hold of to deploy and to spread out. Alright, so now we're going to go over the one-man pull. So basically, Matt's going to walk through this. We're going to go through it, and we're going to show you exactly how to deploy it, where to put it on your shoulder, and how to keep that bundle together so it doesn't fall off. So go ahead, Matt. As you can see, you have the bail sticking out here. Pull that down. It's going to come out as a pack. This is going to go to your right shoulder. When he pulls it out, pause. When he pulls it out, you want to make sure you get the bundle of this pack to the front of you. If it's toward the front, you can easier control it and it's not going to fall off and fall apart. So go ahead and pull it down. You're going to let his back take 2 steps out. 2 steps out is going to pause. You're going to take 2 steps directly back, then turn with his left hand, grab the loop, and he's going to walk out. And at this point, we're going to go on later in the video exactly what to do and where to deploy this from. If you have a large working area or a smaller working area. So go ahead, Matt, walk that out. Okay, now we got the hose bed out of the truck. So when you get to this point right here, when it pulls tight in your hand, first thing you need to do, if possible, is look back and make sure all the hose is out of the hose bed. Once it comes out, it hits tight in your hand. Go ahead and walk out, but it's tight there. You drop that hose there. That's your supply line. That's where it stays. Now you have options from here. So you have a much longer pull. Keep this tight here, and it's going to continue pulling out right here. But as you can see how it lays out basically like a triple lay right here. Now he's going to come on up, and he's going to come up to our structure. So with this single man lay here, we're going to work on exactly how do we want to deploy it from here. You have 2 options. First one we're going to go over is this should be actually up a little bit right here, but this should be here. So your right hand is going to go to the nozzle. So your right hand goes on the nozzle. Your left hand, you're going to find the middle. Sometimes you're going to have a couple in here, sometimes you won't. So at this point, he's going to grab a hold of those 2 things. He's going to throw off his shoulder and turn. So go ahead and hold those 2, throw off your shoulder, turn. You're going to take 2 steps back, take the slack out of here, and you're going to spread those 2 packs apart. Now that's going to open it up. Hold on to those 2 in your hand. Now pretend this dumpster wasn't here. Now we're going to walk this way, and it's going to flake it out correctly. Okay, so now he's at his door. So you come back and look, once again, it triple lays it again. Now at this point, it's not completely clean. So your backstep firefighter, or your backup fire will come up behind here, clean it up a little bit, straighten it all out, charge the line, you're at your door, you're ready for entry. Alright, so now we're going to talk about deploying this Minute Man hose in a short working area, small working area where you don't have up to 25 feet to do an accordion lay. So what he's going to do, my firefighter's going to come up to our port of entry. He's going to stop. What he's going to do is he's going to divide his bundle in half. Half here, half there, and hold them in his hand. He's going to throw it off to the side. Come around here. Now that he's throwing it off to the side, he has 2 choices. If he's at his door, now he can come find his middle here, and walk it back. Stop it. Okay? Now he's laid out and he's ready to make entry. But let's say that he wanted to change direction and wanted to go a different direction with it. Back up to the top. He's going to take those same 2 points, he's just going to change directions with it. Walk it up, and let's walk it that way. at this point, we're set and we're ready to go. It is key to stop, take the extra 15 seconds to clean up your hoses, and make sure they're laid out nice and flat and even before you charge that line. So now we're going to talk about a two-man deployment. So the only difference is basically that second man is going to come up behind and pull that off. He may be going the same direction as the guy with the Minuteman hose pack, but if you have a short or smaller working area, you may have to deploy it to the left or to the right. So Matt's going to go ahead and load up on his Minuteman, pull it out, and then we're going to talk about pulling off the hose load side, hose bed side, excuse me. Okay. So now at this point, Travis is going to come up and he's going to deploy this. So we have a small working area. We can't bring it out here and have enough room for it to lay out. So what Travis is going to do, he's going to take it and he's going to pull it that direction. Okay, now he checked and made sure that it's as tight in his hand. And at this point, it's hard to look back and see. But if you need be, come back and check and make sure that your hose bed is cleared out before you charge that line. Alright, so now we're going to talk about loading the hose into the hose bed. If you look down at the front hose load here, hose bed, you can see where it comes up out of the truck there. It's on your driver's side. So this front one needs to deploy off the opposing side, because if this comes up and over, when this hose comes out, it's going to get stuck there. It's going to want to jump up and over. So you always want to load your hose where it's going to go off the opposite side, the furthest direction from where you are there. Alright, so now when we go to load this, your Minuteman is always going to be, if you're facing the truck, on the left side. Remember, it's always on the left side, so when you pull it off, it goes to your right side. So if your back's to the truck, it's on the right side. So we're going to start first. It's 100 foot on the hose bed side. We're going to load it. It's just a straight, flat lay. Once we get to that coupling, though, we're going to put that handheld in there. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so now we're at our coupling point. At our coupling point, we need to put our handheld here. Make sure that loop is large enough that you can fit a gloved hand into it, so when you reach up to it, you don't have to fight for it to reach into it. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so now we're to the point, we're at the end of our hose here. At this point, we set this to the side for the time being, and we'll start on our Minuteman side. So our Minuteman side, what we're going to do, we have to start it backwards or upside down. We're going to nozzle first. So we start on this end with a nozzle to the down side. We leave approximately 6 inches hanging off the side, so you have room to flip that nozzle up in there. We start with our first load here. On this first stack, keep back 6 to 8 inches on your stack to leave room for the pistol grip on the nozzle. Okay, now we got it fully loaded. At this point, all we got to do is take our 2 couplings, attach them together, put our nozzle on the other end, and we're good to go. Just remember, on the other side, there are no loops and no handholds over there. It's just a straight, flat lay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about how you stow the nozzle. When you stow the nozzle, you want to take it, you're going to want to fold it up in there, like so. Do not cram it, do not push it in there. It should be able to come out easily, like so. Make sure you keep it behind the rollers though, so that this will shut. So once that's in there, you take your loop you fold it up on itself, you close the tarp. So once the tarp is closed, you go to deploy it, you pull the tarp off, your handheld falls right out where you need it. Grab your bail, pull that out, shoulder that, then pull your hose load side. Alright, now we're going to talk about fixing mistakes. This is one of the easiest hose lays to fix. So what's going to happen, we're going to pretend that Matt just dropped it, he tripped, whatever, he just messed it up a little bit. So we're going to just throw it on the ground. Alright, so now it looks like a spaghetti mess. It's super easy to fix. You have multiple options to be able to do this. If you're not at your door yet, grab your nozzle and look for the midpoint. Grab your midpoint. Let's say it's there. Pause. So what we're going to do, now at this point, is going to walk it out that way. But let's say that you dropped it right in front of your door and you made a mess. All you're going to do is leave your nozzle there, grab your third points in the middle, and you're going to walk back like we showed on the last one. So now, we're not quite at our door yet, so we're going to grab the nozzle and a midsection and walk it out towards the door. Alright, now we're going to talk about the front bumper line. This is a scorpion load. What we're going to do is we're going to open it up. First thing you're going to see a nozzle, and you're going to see a folded section right at the coupling. What you're going to do here, you're going to grab your nozzle and your folded section, and you're going to walk it out. What it's going to do is the last 50 feet of it is going to accordion lay it. But the good thing about this too is if all you need is 50 foot, or all you have working room for is 50 foot, you disconnect it here at the coupling, and you hook it directly to your supply there. So Matt's going to go ahead and grab that coupling and grab the nozzle and walk it out. As you can see, your last section there, it triple laid it basically. So what we're doing, we're saving a little bit of room. We're working on a highway, we're working on a roadway. Or, like I said, you can break it down and make it only a 50-foot section versus a 100-foot. Alright, so now we're down to loading the scorpion load. Basically, all you're going to do is a flat lay the whole thing. So once you get to your coupling part, what you're going to set it aside, like so. Make sure there's plenty there for the grab hold of, like we talked about before. And just continue laying your flat load the rest of the way in. Alright, so now we're to the finalization of it. You got your nozzle and you got your coupling in. All you're going to do is lay your nozzle in there, take your coupling in, and fold it over the top of your top flat lay.